Well, good morning. I'm Doug Crippen. I'm a sergeant with the Calgary Police Service Break-In Unit team. I'm here today to talk about seasonal increases in crimes of opportunity, like break-in-enters and other property crimes that usually occur during warmer periods of time. Typically, we see a gradual increase of residential break-in-enters over the summer by about 20%. However, this year, starting in March, we noticed more nighttime break-in-enters were occurring to detached garages. More specifically, there has been an increase in May to June of this year with an estimated 150 more offenses and increasing up to 200 offenses here in June, respectively, and we expect these numbers to continue to increase. We're asking citizens to be mindful in securing their homes, businesses, properties, vehicles, garages, and other belongings every night before going to bed to minimize these crimes of opportunity. Oftentimes, taking the opportunity away from the offenders is enough to protect their property. We are encouraging citizens to continue the practice of the 9 p.m. routine, which CPS adopted in 2018 to help Calgarians get into the habit of securing their property, vehicles, garages, belongings before going to bed each night. We know that the last few months have been hard on everyone, and we are here to help the citizens of Calgary protect themselves from crimes of opportunity. I will now take your questions.
Can you just go over the stats, the trend upwards again?
Yeah. In May of this year, we had approximately 150 detached garage break-in-enters. However, we saw a sharp increase into June, which went up to 200 offenses. So we're seeing that dramatic increase month over month. And a lot of it can be attributed to opportunity, but the seasonality, we see that increase every year because, just simply put, warmer weather. People are out in their yards, they're leaving stuff out, they're leaving doors open, that type of stuff. There's just more activity, right, in comparison to the winter months.
I'm curious, do you think any of this is attributed to the pandemic and sort of the economic decline at the same time as things were getting warm?
We don't have any information to suggest a linkage between the economics of the present situation that we're in and the criminality specific to residential break-in-enters. Now, one thing that we do see that's common to a lot of our investigations, especially at the higher levels, the more organized groups, is that there is a drug component to it. Typically, addictions are fueling a lot of the behaviors. The people that we're interacting with, they are using typically at the time of their offense or shortly thereafter. They are fueled by that. They need to get property or things that they can trade or sell to take care of their addictions.
And so as a part of this also that folks just aren't being mindful of protecting their property?
I would say that the majority of people are doing an excellent job. They really are doing an excellent job. It's just sometimes that family-friendly reminder, and that's where that 9 p.m. routine comes in. It's we're just in our yards more, we're out there just out doing more stuff, and we're forgetting to close the windows, lock windows or doors before we leave. Or in these hot evenings, and we are very alive to the idea that it's plus 30 out there, but patio doors are being left open so that the air can go through the house. Well, what that does without locking that screen, it allows quick, easy access to a residence. And as people sleep, they might not even know the people have been into their homes, right? Until they wake up the next morning and the property's been taken, their vehicles are gone, something of that significance.
Something unrelated, do you have any comment on the Maglioka investigation?
I have no comment whatsoever. I work in a totally different unit.
It's fine. I was told to ask.
Yeah. I can speak. I'd like to also speak a little bit about the commercial side. So,
okay.
Commercial break-in side. So we have a residential side that we've seen quite a decrease over time. Like since COVID has come in, we've seen that more people are staying home. They are really good witnesses. They're in their communities. They're interacting with their neighbors. They're getting to know their neighbors. So they get to know who is supposed to be there and who isn't. That, we believe, has led to a substantial decrease in daytime residential break-in that we traditionally see. But what that's done is it's pushed the offenders into thinking about other opportunities. That's where we start to see those increases on those residential detached garages and attached garages for that matter. However, where we've seen a huge success through the Calgary Police Service, we structured a project that targeted commercial premises because we knew at the beginning of this pandemic that a lot of people were being forced to stay home due to the Quarantine Act. So by removing those people from those commercial properties, we recognized very early on that they would be placed at risk, allowing us to formulate a plan, and we used various units from across the service to address that. What we saw from March 15th to the end of July was a decrease of approximately 50% in commercial break-in enters. And of course, we started to see, as again on the commercial side, a seasonal increase, a slight uptick in that. But we've targeted the right people, the right crime groups and such. We've deployed a number of resources in that. So to see that radical decrease because of the different things that we've done we're quite happy with those results. We wanted to support the community, we wanted to support business because we knew the impact that businesses would be facing if they were victims of a break-in enter.
Did you increase patrol at all after COVID came?
Yes, absolutely. We redeployed resources specifically to the problem of break-in enters. We used air services, we used units such as our K9 and our traffic members out there. The more policemen out there in the community, we were able to get more information and then start to send the message to these offenders that Calgary wasn't open for business when it came to break-in enters. It was simply, we wanted to throw as many resources at that because we knew that for the most part people were home and they were able to take care of their property. So we were handling that quite well. It was the commercial side that we really wanted to focus and attack. Some of the numbers that we received, or the rates of victimization, went down to some of the lowest numbers that we've ever seen in the service.
Am I correct in saying, I think I noticed more ghost cars, undercover, unmarked vehicles, police vehicles downtown and around the city after COVID came? Am I wrong by thinking there was more?
No, there was definitely. We strategically looked at how we deployed our resources, and when we start to look at, we created basically a strategic plan on how we best serve our community. And what that allowed us to do was to figure out where the most impact was happening. So I'll use downtown, for instance. We actually enacted a specific break-in enter commercial team. Again, using some of the strategies that you just said, unmarked cars, more uniform patrols, more foot patrols, but we also had our special units of starting to look at some of this stuff. We actually strategically looked at people with break-in warrants, and we started to try to address those. And we used social media and a public affairs campaign to help the community understand that we're in this all together, and it's how do we make sure that we have businesses that are functional, that they're ready to go back to, because nobody really knew when this thing was going to kind of transpire and work its way through. But today we can look back and say that we were very successful in ensuring that the majority of these businesses out there are in the state that they were when this pandemic started. And we're continuing with a lot of these initiatives. These initiatives haven't stopped. As we're pushing ahead because as a service we've got good momentum and we're hearing good things from the community. And we want to see the victimization continue to go down. We don't want people in their homes or their businesses being impacted by this.
That's good.
I just, I've been sent one more question about bikes. Bikes are usually a main target this time of year.
Yep.
Bike use apparently, as a result of the pandemic, is up. So just if that's true, I guess we've done some stories. But is it true to say that maybe bikes are more of a target, even more so than at other times?
Bikes can be, a lot of times it's opportunity. It's when that offender breaks into the car, gets the garage door open, and goes to the garage and goes, oh, there's a $5,000 bike. I can quickly get that and be gone. Nobody even knows. By the time the door is basically up, the home occupants, they just realize. So yes, bikes are very much a targeted item. Now, we in the service, there is it escapes me, we have just introduced an app where people can register their bikes, and this bike app we can now target and start to try to find these. We've had success with our online stolen property team. So we have a group of members who look at specifically online stolen property and property out in the community. So when somebody is victimized, we start attacking that part of the problem to say, who has that property, where is it being sold, and then we start to do an investigation, try to get that property back. We have seen good success as of late. We've had a number of operational plans and criminal charges laid with respect to bikes. Because bikes, we were starting to recognize that bikes can be upwards of $10,000, $15,000, $20,000, some of these bikes. But another key piece here is when I talk about people's homes getting broken into, those attached and detached garages, if they have keys anywhere near proximity of just within that inside their home, or a lot of people leave them in their garage, that's placing an immense risk for having their vehicles taken, because those offenders get in there, they find that, and it's the quick, easy opportunity, and they drive away. Those vehicles are then, I can tell you, in almost all cases, used to commit either more break-in-enters or commit other serious criminal offenses. So we're trying to prevent that and stop that, because it places our community at risk when we have stolen vehicles rolling around our streets, as evidenced by a number of incidents that have happened as of late.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you.